because if it is you, our next agenda item is...
Yes, I can hear you,
Okay, so we're gonna come to you now for your district manager's report.
Okay.
If you need a minute, we can do another update and come back to you. It's up to you. Yes.
Every time I come in this office, my allergies kick in.
I know,
don't
me
why.
too.
When did they eat, by the way?
Yeah, someone-
Went off. I noticed that.
Ebenezer, do you want a couple minutes and we can do another report in the meantime?
Can you hear?
He's muted at the moment, so,
Yes, give me a few minutes. I bringing this meeting to YouTube and Facebook.
okay,
Yes,
great.
I am about to finish. I already have it in YouTube. I put it in
Okay.
Facebook now.
Well, in the meantime, Secretary, do we have a report from you?
No, just a short little thing. I was talking to Kathy about, how to make whoever becomes, me or somebody else makes the secretary's job easier for the general meeting. One of the things is we have to enable the chat so that when I get the report, when people say I'm dropping things in the chat, when I get those reports, the chat isn't visible to me. So I don't see any of those things.
Got it.
So, she said she was gonna talk to the office about enabling that so that when those reports come to me, I get to see what everybody puts in the chat.
Right.
Because I never see that, because I don't go on Zoom because I'm so busy taking the minutes. And then I always have to go back and forth. And then I did ask, Paola today, because she used to send me, I used to be able to get the Zoom transcript,
Right.
but they stopped sending that to me, because they said there wasn't enough space. Because when I go to YouTube, you cannot, it doesn't give you a thing to like stop it and then maybe cut and paste, like maybe
Just
something
some
somebody
phrase.
said. So it takes a while, because sometimes, and I have to tell you this, it could take like 8 hours to do those minutes.
The script, it doesn't show.
Yeah, so, she said that Zoom didn't have capability, but it will next month.
Okay.
So hopefully that works. And then, as like I mentioned to you, was also, going forward was asking the electeds to send the reports to us. To send the reports that they write to me so that I'm not having to, again, go back and forth looking at it. Because I think that will reduce, for anybody who's secretary, it will reduce the amount of time going over those minutes, because it just takes way too much time, you know,
Yes, it does.
yeah, so just trying to get a few things in place that I've, learned that can make things easier.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, having the reports in advance. Thank you for that.
Can I augment the report real quick? And this is for Ebenezer, I guess, or whoever, does the roll call list. I think last month
That's
was
right,
an
you
anomaly.
did bring that up, yeah.
It was super small, so if you could put it back to the regular size that it usually is on 2 sheets, that would be helpful.
And also, they just copy and pasted what I had submitted from the month before. So it was weird. It had all my notes. They cleared the resolution part was cleared, but all my notes of like who was absent, who was still on there. And yeah, it was, even with my glasses, it was so tiny I could barely see it.
Got it.
So it was a lot of difficulty because you couldn't really make notes or do anything, so. And they also have to I had to I'm not great with Excel, but I had to recalibrate for the new members. The spreadsheet was not recalibrated, for new members, so that when it helped, like kind of automatically supposed to like, when you put like excused or absent, it automatically tallies it, and it doesn't do that anymore. So it has to be recalibrated for all the new members. with all the members' names, and so that when I'm tallying, it automatically says, you know, people absent, excused, things like that.
Got it. Ebenezer, did you catch those
Yes,
details?
I take a note. I take a note.
Thank you, Ebenezer.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Do you have a question, ma'am?
Has there been any further discussion about how to handle committee members who are consistently on Zoom rather than in person?
Yes.
We talked about that last month, and that was another
Right.
thing too. I reached out to Paolo because we asked for the sign-in sheets to be different, to have different details, so that we're able to, let me see, and that hasn't been done. So we asked that, you know, you have like, if you have to mark it, like, okay, Zoom was not, no permission. So we did ask for that, but it has not been done, and I did reach out to Paola, I think I emailed her the other day, and, even though I was very late, that was an email that was sent October 24th, and I had just followed up with it like the other day, but I asked her if that could be, if that new, sign-in sheet could be, done.
Got it.
I was asking that question because I have one committee member who's consistently only on Zoom. And
Look at my
I'd
notes.
rather have him on Zoom than not at all, but on the other hand,
Right. Jim?
Well, two things. Number one, it might be appropriate, since we're almost at the time of the term of a new chair, to implement this when the new chair comes in. And the other thing, if you want to zing this person, unless they have one of the official excuses, which are in the bylaws, if they don't, you can tell them they can't vote. Okay? Because they can't, unless you have an official excuse, if you're not there in person, you're not allowed to vote. So that's something.
Yeah, so I'm just looking at the, email that we sent out, Kathy sent on October 21st. Please ensure that all sign-in sheets, she sent this to Paolo, please ensure that all sign-in sheets note members who have submitted exemptions for November meetings. The executive sign-in sheet did not include it tonight. Please work with Alexis, me, to identify members who do not have exemptions and hop on Zoom frequently without giving an excuse. Bylaws dictate that this is the time of year when members for removal and election eligibility are identified. I'm gonna meet with Paola about that, hopefully this week. And the additional changes that we asked for was add a column to the sign-in sheet to include the ability to write in the reason for Zoom attendance. If a member calls the office because they have an emergency, staff can write it so that the chair is aware and chairs during the meeting can write it in. The above will help us have better attendance accuracy. When a meeting has been moved from its regularly scheduled day, add language to the sign-in sheet that says so all committee chairs and when attendance is tracked are aware people are excused. Please add the quorum count to the top of the committee sheet so that it's already on it based on the committee roster.
and that was sent out, you said?
Yeah, October 21st.
Okay.
Kathy sent that to Paola.
I didn't,
No, that was just, she
I
just
didn't
sent,
get it.
no, it was only sent to the office and me and Daryl and Anthony.
oh, I thought you said it was sent out.
No, it was an email that she sent asking for this, but it didn't happen yet.
Jim?
In this new sheet, which again, I suggest we start, whenever. I think Kathy made the whole thing a little bit more complicated. There has to be a column for excuse if you wanna be on Zoom. And then,
Well-
let me just finish. And, Kathy mentions someone can call into the board office, but I think, we don't have to be that formal. So if someone shows up on Zoom and they say, my child is sick and that's why I'm home, that should be sufficient, and you just write, childcare, or, because that's one of the excuses. But again, if you don't have one of the official excuses, and again, this is in the bylaws and it's also on the website separately in a resolution for Anthony, I believe Anthony. You can be on Zoom all you want, but you're technically not present at the meeting and you technically can't vote. And of course, if you have an exemption, then even if you're not present, you count as part of the in-person forum anyway.
Even if what?
If you have an exemption, you count as part of
Right.
the in-person forum, the people who are there.
If you have an exemption, you're already counted as in person, which we know, yeah.
Right.
But we're talking
I
about,
don't know what you said and I don't know what he said.
I just forwarded you the email that has it.
That's not gonna help me to know what he said.
Let me say it again.
Please.
If you have an exemption, then you count as though you were at the meeting and you are part of the quorum.
Right,
Right.
right.
That's what I said. But we don't know that.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. We're gonna move on to, I think, now Ebenezer, ready for your district manager's report?
Yes, yes. Thank you very much. Always it's a pleasure being here as your district manager. Very short report. The plaza, the Audubon Plaza, after our advocacy, it was paved, Department of Transportation paved it. And last week, the artists still start the painting. There has been some challenge with the rain and the weather, but she's there with her team, the volunteer teams, painting the street. And see some progress. We are helping her together with Alianza Dominicana to start the paint. And be on top of that to make sure that the artists can perform and paint her mural on the street. We are in preparation for the holiday party and, they wrap it off on my office. This is what I need to report right now. Thank you very much. Is there any question?
When is the holiday? There's a date.
Yeah, the date is, I think, December 12th. Is that right?
December
What is the date of the
12th.
holiday?
December 12th,
And what time does this start?
6.
6 o'clock.
And what is this?
The holiday party is December 12th at 6.
I thought it was something
Yes,
about-
it's on the
Audubon
second
Plaza.
floor.
Second floor.
Right.
And we're also celebrating Ebenezer's retirement.
Yes. Which he knows, it's not a secret.
I thought it was a secret.
I would think he knows he's retiring.
Yeah, everybody's
With a smile,
invited.
with a smile.
Yes.
I vouch for it. Retirement is wonderful. They pay you to do nothing.
I can't wait.
I have a question about Audubon
I'm
Plaza.
still waiting, Jim.
Yeah. I think we spoke about it last month. Did Agent pass a resolution, or did someone pass a resolution with respect to Audubon Plaza and needing an accessible mural?
Traffic and
That
transportation.
was traffic and transportation. is that still being discussed
So-
with?
Yes.
Yeah, so it was one of the conditions that we passed during committee, for the board, and our understanding with the conversations with DOT is that any material they use are ADA compliant. So
Okay.
the paint and everything, those are vetted, those are ADA compliant by city rules.
Oh, look at what they
That's
did.
what I
Oh,
was
I
told.
can see it. Yeah. Okay,
Yes,
thanks, Leo.
I used that resolution to advocate for the paving of the street because they were planning to do the mural without paving the street. And we use that as for support to advocate and prevent the painting without the paving.
That's fantastic, thanks. Any other questions for the district manager? Seeing none, next on the agenda is treasurer's report.
Anthony, I just want to extend an invitation to my final district service cabinet meeting this Thursday, the 20th. New York Presbyterian Hospital want to people come in person, and we're gonna have some lunch. So everyone is welcome to attend the final district service cabinet meeting presided by Ebenezer Smith.
I will be there, thank you. Everyone hear that? There will be a
Yes.
brunch.
And thank you, Ebenezer, for your service and all your work all these years, man. We really do
Yeah.
appreciate it as a body.
Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Let's give him a round of applause.
Yes.
Thank to you guys. Thank to you.
Thanks, Ebenezer. Leo, do you have a report this month?
Yes, so just wanted to give a quick update. Earlier this month or late last month, I sat down with Ebenezer, Kathy, and Anthony, and we reviewed a couple budget modifications we needed to do to allocate some money from one budget from one item to the next. These items were, and I have the report. I would be sending it out. I had them printed. Again, I'm just a little sick, so I couldn't make it, but I'll be sending it through email. But these items were moved to cover expenses such as the Zoom and all the virtual tools and resources we use. Some money was moved from old rental service that we had with a printer that we no longer used, and that money was allocated for holiday party, for other events happening in the next couple of months. As you guys know, Ebenezer stepping down, and the process to have the next DM come in and sign up for these tools takes a while. So that's a process itself. So we just wanted to make sure we allocate as much money to certain things so we can have bills paid off or certain contracts that we have, certain things that we have in mind for the next couple of months.
Great, thank you. Any other questions or any questions for Leo?
Yeah.
You have one from Steve.
Leo, is there money in the budget for us to do, have somebody do outreach on, notifying people of the various, meetings that we're having, the licensing meetings, the cannabis meetings? I would have liked to have seen some, outreach on the meeting I had recently about, the water main breaks in Inwood. Do we have the ability to hire people to, go out and do flyering or post things?
So I'll give you some background. So we have some money on one of our accounts. We have accumulated over the years a significant amount of money. Right now, Kathy, Ebenezer, Anthony has supported it, and myself work to see if that company allows us to use that money for direct mailers. So that's one thing we're working on. I can look into the budget. I know that certain things are fixed, but we can move around some money. We have any big event or any public hearing or forum coming up in the next within the fiscal year, we can definitely see if we can allocate it. I know that Kathy has suggested, and some of the money was moved for events. It's not a crazy amount of money, but there's a couple hundreds that can be used for outreach. But I know if you're speaking about direct mailers, we're asking the account executives for that company if we can use that money that we have, which again is a significant amount of money, for direct mailers so that we can broaden our outreach.
No, I'm really thinking, I'm not opposed to mailings, but I would also like to see us posting flyers, as I see other community boards do, whenever they're having particular meetings. I see that they have flyers posted around in that immediate neighborhood where a meeting, where something is taking place that affects that, people in that neck of, in those blocks. And I think we should be doing something similar.
Is that not in the tasks and standards of one of the staff?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I think that falls under one of them. I mean, we could follow up. And again, Steve, I'm not opposed to the idea. If we have some funds left over, and I'll verify with Ebenezer, well, the next week or so with Ebenezer, with a crystal report, maybe we can allocate some money just for outreach, i.e. Posting flyers. But for now, I think the mailers might be our best step. I think that is the role or the responsibility of one of our staff members.
Leo, keep me honest, I think there were two other things too. I think the first was as part of the grant that Councilmember Carmen De La Rosa gave us, we were going to use a portion of those funds for figuring out potential needs on social media. So having a consultant who specializes in that come in, look at our social media accounts and figure out how do we streamline it, and then how do we actually, make it reach the people we want it to reach. I think that was one thing.
Yeah, that was one of them. Yep.
The other thing is not budget related, but one thing that needs to be a consistent office task is utilizing the Link NYC across this district, which we have free access to. I've seen it used here and there for meetings,
Are those the kiosks?
the kiosks.
Yes, oh, yes.
So we are able to, as a community board, put up a schedule of our meetings on those kiosks that rotate as part of the advertisements.
And it's
I've
free.
seen it once for free. I've seen it appear once, I forget for which meeting, which means someone went on the Google form and filled it out. But we can make it a consistent office
Yes.
staff
Yes,
task
yes,
that every month they
Yes.
take this and they fill up the Google form and submit it. So I
absolutely.
think that would help tremendously.
And
That,
that's free.
that definitely does
And
help.
free.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
It's free for us.
Yeah, so why don't we do it?
Okay, thank you. Alright, Leo, is that everything?
That's all. But that suggestion we should definitely consider, Anthony. We spoke about it, I believe, in last executive board meeting, and it was a suggestion. It might be something we delegate to the office. Might be something that we take on as an executive committee ourselves. Depends how fast we want with the transition of the new DM. It's gonna take some adjusting to. So, want to
Yeah.
get ahead of it. Maybe we should discuss it at the exec committee. Each chair to take upon himself or have somebody in the exec team bring them up.
Thank you. Okay, so we're moving on to resolutions before CB12 and November general meeting. One resolution that we have that's been in the works for a while are the procedures that I presented to this committee in June, I believe it was. And I think the agreement was we would open it up to the full board for review. Kathy did that over the summer. And I think she actually re-upped the link once more in September, so the full board has received the Google Docs for those procedures. Remember, they were the officer procedures. Does everyone recall what I'm talking about? Okay, I haven't received any feedback about it, so no one commented, but it has been 6 months, and so that would be one of the, yeah, I guess so. So those will be before the general board in November for a vote.
Could we mail them out to people again?
Because I-
Email?
Email.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah, do it one more time.
yes. Okay, Isidro, licensing?
So we're going to report about 9 licenses. We had originally 19, but 10 were withdrawn because the 34 precinct had an opinion on the all-night permit that is going to be given on the 31st of December. So all of those were withdrawn, and that's why we are presenting 9 resolutions. There were about 4 objections that's going to be on the resolution. A little bit surprised that some of the renewals got objected to at the committee level. And they had concern about health issues and some findings that were received by the merchants.
Were you what?
That there was some concern about health issues. And one in particular, one merchant received a summon by the SLA, and committee members didn't feel comfortable with the response, but I'll address that at the general board meeting.
Has the Boogie Bar over here at Coogan's applied?
Steve, you are waiting for that to
Yeah,
open
yeah.
with bated
Waiting for
breath.
that, Steve.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Any other
Turn it
resolutions
into another
before
Coogan's.
the board?
Yeah,
Any- Yeah,
Anthony, we have one from traffic and transportation. Last month at Benizic, at the general board meeting, I discussed this conversation with DOT regarding taking 2 parking spots near 180th Street, making a right to the George Washington Bridge of the I-95 South, and making it into a lane so that it can lighten some of the congestion in the area, create more of a safer environment. Again, the knock on us is that we'll lose about 2 parkings, but it's a very odd spot. It's right before the right turn to the George Washington Bridge detour. So we at the board discussed it, and if it alleviates some traffic in the area, the bottleneck that happens going onto the bridge, since there's a couple detours or entrances to the FDR, to the George Washington Bridge detour, we decided to vote in support of removing those 2 spots so that it can be turned into a turning lane.
great, thank you. So I have 1 from traffic and transportation, 9 from licensing, 1 from this committee from June. Any other resolutions before the board? Seeing none, sorry, so we have 11. Okay, So we're gonna go to committee chair updates. I think given time, if we can keep the updates to things relevant to the executive committee and then all general updates for the general board next week, that'd be greatly appreciated. Who would like to begin on their updates? Does anyone have any updates?
Just like that.
Mary?
I just want to let people know that People's Theater Project is back, in the forefront again because their new building on 10th Avenue, I think it's 206.
Yes, 206.
7th, is going to be ready by the spring. And one of the things, I mean, they've been working with kids in schools and, doing a lot of work with immigrants. But one of the things that they're seeking to do at this point is they've already applied for some grants to be able to work with seniors in the senior centers to have them more involved in doing theater. So they presented actually at our aging committee meeting and, I've been talking with them about, how to go about getting more seniors involved. So, and, just on a personal note, I was an actor with them way back when, like 11 years ago, for a few years. And really, enjoyed it and got a lot out of it personally and, helped me be more comfortable with, speaking in public and that sort of thing. So I'm also, looking forward to them getting the grants and, the attendees, because we had our meeting at the Dykeman Senior Center, and some of those people were really gung-ho, ready to roll. So, just looking to the future.
Thanks, Mary. Yes, Leanna?
All right, we'll be as quick as possible. For the Housing and Human Services, our November meeting was a brainstorming meeting. We've got a really excited and engaged committee, and so we, in addition to some ideas about who we wanted to invite, we had some ideas and questions related to increasing engagement at our meetings. So related to social media, I know that there was something going on about our accounts and a review. Do we anticipate that that's something that will be resolved relatively soon, or is that something that would be like by next year we'll be able to post our meetings?
To Facebook specifically, the problem with it is the channels that are available to us are requiring things like trademark proof
Okay.
because they're using like our logo, but we're
Gotcha.
a government agency, we don't have a trademark for our logo.
Okay.
So we think we have to go through the city to have some back channel discussion with whoever the city operates
Got it.
through at Meta. It may take time,
Okay.
yeah.
So then the second question related to that was, can a committee create like a contact list, let's say, of organizations
Thanks, Daryl.
where like we can send them an email saying, hey, this is our meeting topic, location, and time? We don't have to go through staff or through like the central email lines. We can?
Yeah.
Okay. And then along the same lines, can we do our own email address so that it's not coming, let's say, from my email? Could we do like Community Board 12 Manhattan Housing and Human Services, some sort of like shortening of that, and have our own email address to blast that out?
For, like, would it be a Gmail account or, yeah, you can
Okay.
certainly do that. I think as long as we have processes in place to make sure the password doesn't get stuck, so like,
Well, the problem, I think, is, we may have had something comparable to this a few years back. What happens when there's a new chair of the committee? How do they, how does that, like transfer to the new,
yeah,
to
that's
the
what I
new
mean.
people? I think that it may not be so easy.
We would create a new email address though, so then we can share that with staff and with.
Yeah, I know, but then we have to, we had somebody who created an account, a member of this board, and then when we asked her to give it over to somebody else, she refused to do so, and it screwed up a lot of our communications.
That was the Facebook thing that I think I was
I-
just referring to.
I don't remember exactly right now, but,
So it was that.
Alright,
but it,
I
got
would be
and if we don't have to answer it now, just.
yeah.
yeah, I mean,
I think it should go through the office in some way. It should go through some official account that we have, so it always remains the same.
The only problem is the city does not allow us to establish more than one cb.nyc.gov account outside of the staff. So Kathy is the only non-staff member that has one of those emails.
And
Sorry,
Well,
you had a
just,
question.
you know, in terms of Steve's point, the credentials, the password for these accounts you're making, they would have to be on record at the board, so that you could become as rogue as you want and we could take over the account anyway.
okay,
Sorry.
great. So then some of the other things that we talked about were, can we collaborate with other community board committees? Do we need, like to get that approved by somebody? For example, I had lunch yesterday with somebody from CP9 and their housing committee. So, you know, can we engage with them? Can we invite them to attend something? Could in theory, like, I reached out to some city agencies to come and do presentations. Could we invite another community board committee to do that?
I think totally, but any action that would arise out of it would have to either be joint voted by both boards or
Okay.
only be named under the one board.
Okay, just two more questions. We were wondering, can we potentially, I saw the email that Kathy sent out about donations of toys and things like that.
Yes.
We had a similar thought about volunteering. Is there any way that the community board circulates volunteer opportunities? Or if we hear of something, are there any guidelines that would prevent us from either circulating that within our committee or within the board? Just something to think about maybe.
Not within the committee
Okay.
or within the board. I think if it was a public messaging thing, I think as long as we're being consistent about who gets to be part of the newsletter, for example.
Okay.
We don't wanna be deemed, I would imagine, we wouldn't wanna be deemed as favoring one organization over another.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I think you could circulate within your,
And that's usually mediated by the chair,
yeah,
or maybe the district manager.
yeah.
And then our final thing was, it would be great if we could do like community board 101 things, and that was tying into our social media outreach. We actually had a member from the community who came in, and she was fantastic. She's like, you know, I basically like stumbled across this meeting, and I had no idea like what the community board does, how I can get involved, what this issue is. She like said that she talked to a community member who had gone to a general meeting, but since we don't get into like the discussions, really they didn't think it was like that informative. So we were just thinking of, you know, if there's anything that we can do in our committee to help come up with like quick 101 community board things that we could then circulate on, you know, social media, we'd be happy to do that and would actually be really eager to do that. I'll leave it there for that.
I know Alexis has had a question for a while and then I'll look at that.
That stuff is already, pushing people, it's already on the Borough President's website.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're thinking like more conversation of like, why does this matter, right? It can't just be like, oh, there's a project and we're having a public hearing about it or something.
And I'm
It's
not
like,
talking about that, there's a whole spiel about why you want to, community board, what they do.
okay, yeah, so maybe it's just like cutting that up and doing like, you know, shorter bite-sized pieces for social media.
For sure.
Thank you for flagging that. We'll take a look.
No, just, so you know, Community Board 9 and 10, they collaborate a lot.
Yeah.
They do town halls, they did a whole huge program together at, the Danny Farrell, what is that, at Riverbank?
Riverbank.
We never said Riverbank, I don't know why I can't speak, anyway. So like they did a big one where each cultural organization from those community boards had 10 minutes to present. They had all the elected officials there. So I'm just letting you know, that's something I know that is done, and maybe
Great.
that's something we could look at
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
new
Well,
year
for sure.
to do maybe, it could be, or it doesn't have to be arts and culture, it could be a health fair, it could be like something that you do with aging. So there is,
Great.
and CB9 and 10 are, and I think one of them, I think CB9 even has a podcast.
Oh, cool.
That's fancy.
Yeah, because they had us go in, we had to present for Classical Theatre of Harlem, and then we had to go down, and then they interview, I wouldn't do it, so I had my boss and somebody else were then interviewed for, so every organization that presented at their town hall went down and got interviewed for the podcast.
Pretty cool.
Sorry, that reminds me of one last quick thing. I would encourage all of us, if possible, to give our 3-minute summary of what we talked about our committee meetings, because we normally say like, oh, we refer to the minutes, but I would just really encourage us all that we give our 3-minute summaries, because most people, or a lot of people, don't look at the meetings, and also for those who are not on the board. And then thinking ahead, that's something that we could then clip for social media, right? Just like the 3-minute health committee update, aging committee update, like that. And then I was also going to suggest, if possible, that we consider moving that up to earlier in the meeting. Thank you.
I would say a couple things, Anthony. To Indiana's point, if you guys have any ideas for outreach events, we can allocate money towards it. So we have some money in the budget. It might not be a lot. I know Kathy, we had discussed before, and it's about 500 per event. Maybe we can do. We'll discuss that maybe with the next chair and the next treasurer, or we can try to get it. If you have something dire that you want to push out in the next couple of months, we can try to get that budget mod within the next week before Beniza has to already finalize everything. It might be a little too late. But again, we have some money to do certain things. So any ideas, feel free to reach out to myself now, Anthony, Kathy, Tanisha, or anybody in the executive committee, or for the next treasurer. It's a possibility. The other thing I want to bring up, tomorrow, we will be having a meeting with the new Manhattan Borough Commissioner of DOT. He'll be joining us for about an hour on Zoom. So if anybody wants to join, please reach out and I'll send you the link. I think it's good to engage with her, kind of set the precedent. I'm not sure if she'll be around for the next administration. She may not. I'm assuming she'll be all right, but if we want to sit down with her and just kind of give our needs and our district needs so that she's aware of how she can really help push certain things that we want to see get done in our community. Just reach out to me and I'll send the link for it.
Thank you. Luana, you had an update from Parks?
Not necessarily, well, an update as it pertains to this, right? Not.
Yes,
yeah.
please.
So, I think that we need to continue, putting forth the purpose of a community board, because a lot of people that attend our meetings are still not clear as to what purpose does a community board have. We had, and I'll report this in the general meeting, we had a situation where an organization thought that she was under the impression that committees and community board resolutions can really like halt projects that are being put forth by city. And I think that this Community Board 101 is a really good entry point to clarify that we are an advisory board and that we don't have sort of like a supervisory role in when it comes to city agencies or even our community partners. So I just wanted to say that.
Right. Thank you.
Just want to mention that in the past, when there have been issues particularly concerning Northern Manhattan, the chairs of the 4 Northern Manhattan boards have coordinated. And then I think, there's one complication is that we as a community board are supposed to be completely parochial, because we're the only ones who speak for our part of Northern Manhattan. But on the other hand, insofar as something affects, like we didn't used to be on the map of Manhattan when they published it, you know, all the advertisers and stuff in 96th Street. Well, we all got together, made enough noise, and nowadays, most of the time, when you see maps of Manhattan, Northern Manhattan actually exists.
Thank you. Any other committee updates?
I just want to mention, as I did earlier, that the DEP Borough Commissioner came to my committee meeting, spoke in great detail and answered a lot of questions about the recent water shutdowns in Inwood. And I want to, I don't know if this counts, but I want to publicly thank him because he followed up. He called one of the people who had tried to call into my meeting, and we didn't realize it. We didn't call upon her because of the, she was, we didn't see it actually signaled to speak, and he followed up, spoke to her, and is responding to her complaints about low water pressure and dirty water in her building. So I appreciate the fact that he was forthcoming, that he realized that there somewhat of a communication breakdown with the water main shutdown that occurred in October on Broadway between Dykeman and Cumming, that he's agreed to try to make sure that they reach out more clearly to NYC Notify and use other means to try to get the word out, so that people in the community aren't caught short in situations like that in the future. So I feel as though our meeting had a positive impact. Hopefully it's made a difference in some future such events. And I feel good about the relationship we've now developed with the DP Borough Commissioner, Marty Petsu.
Thank you. Any other committee updates?
We'll mention this at the general meeting, but just so everybody knows, next month, we're gonna talk with the Friends of Inwood Hill Park about naming a pollinator garden after Sally Fisher. So spoke to the guy who started Friends of Inwood Hill Park, Chris, and he's all for it. They're already working on something anyway, and so it would fit right in. So we'll have that brought up at our next month's meeting and hopefully pass a resolution on that.
Thank you.
Has Janet explained the additional documentation that we're going to need?
No, she's all in on it, but she didn't explain the documentation.
Or let me talk to you after.
Lovely. Alright, I think that is it on committee reports. Oh, I'm sorry, do you
I
have?
had a question, just a committee that maybe isn't here, the nominations committee,
Yes,
is that?
thank you. Kathy, for gone, her report, that's not the right, what's the past tense of forego? She chose not to give her report, in lieu of the executive session, but she mentioned to me she was going to provide a brief update. I'm not privy to it. I know they've been calling, because I received a call. But beyond that, I don't know the selection, I don't know details of each of the roles, but I imagine they will have time, I believe they'll have time at the November meeting.
Yeah.
It's, by the way, being chaired by Erwin Fernandez. And he will likely provide an update in December on the selection or the nominations.
But at the November meeting.
November, excuse me, at the November meeting.
But that's when the nominations take place.
Yeah.
Yes.
November meeting.
So he will have to provide an update at that point, but I don't have any update right now. I don't have a substantive update. Anything else? Any old business? Any new business?
Motion.
Motion?
Second.
Alright, thanks everyone.
Voila.